Hey everybody, welcome into an all-new episode of the Demo Series presented by Stats Perform. I'm your host, Mike Leon. With each episode in this series, we take you inside a product or service here at Stats Perform that can help your business in a multitude of ways. Now listen, this product demo today I'm really excited about because I would have 100% used this product when I was at some of these broadcasters and digital publishers, and that's our amazing Pressbox graphics tool. This tool is being used by broadcasters not only here in the US, but across the pond, college football and college basketball programs, in-stadium scoreboard teams to create compelling graphics, visualizations, shot charts, heat maps. I mean, so many creative images that help enhance their offering from linear TV to social media to in-stadium graphics and more. Joining me now to help demo this fantastic product is our creative director over at Stats Perform, my buddy Anthony Borsamato. Anthony, welcome to the demo series.
Thanks for having me, Mike. And please use Boz, my nickname. It's so much easier.
Oh, yes. Well, I was going to ask you if I could use your nickname here. So funny enough. All right, Boz, let's get down to it. I mean, I mentioned at the top about Pressbox Graphics, this amazing tool, how I probably would have used this, 100% would have used this at some of these other places I worked at. But why don't you give our audience some insight into what the Pressbox Graphics platform actually is?
Yeah, that's exactly how we needed it for ourselves too. So we built it. We were going around the world doing track and field broadcast in social media. And we would take some cool graphics with us that we'd built in the studio saying Usain Bolt wins or breaks world record with some cool data. We'd take it with us and perhaps that didn't happen or the race didn't happen. And that content just went straight in the bin. So we needed something that we could build really quick in a stadium. When we tried that, we would make mistakes because of live sport and the pressure, or we would spell somebody's name wrong. And that's where the platform came. So now we take the touch points of everything in between a client and your fan base, the audience, and we solve all those challenges with visual content. And so that's the basis of the platform.
I got to tell you, in all seriousness, it's incredible because I'm thinking about the ways that I would build thumbnail images or even push out things social media content wise at some of the places I worked at. And it's a challenge sometimes too, when you're trying to create all of this scale and velocity around all of these content and getting it out to your audience faster. So, I want to stop talking here between you and I and start showing this puppy off. All right, Anthony, why don't you show us some examples of how Pressbox Graphics is being utilized today?
Cool. So we've landed on the Twitter feed here where we have around 3,000 examples here. All this content here, we don't make any content whatsoever as a team. It's all made by the client. And so you can see here, it's from all the different sports. It's really heavily integrated with data. It can be animated, it can be video. And I say 3,000 or so examples that we use as a showcase.
So if we just dive into a fairly simple template, you'll see here, it's everything on here starts with a blank screen. So it starts with our brand and it starts with a very simple design and bringing in the brand guidelines. So this one, it's a very simple fact one. We call it the player insight. And when I just scroll down to the right-hand side, the unique part of this platform compared to other graphics generators is the fact that we have live data. So here we can go straight into the data. We can select a game. We can then go down and find the insight that we want, and that will be powered straight into the asset. And again, you can change anything you want. You can make text bigger or smaller. You can change the text, but essentially the work's done for you from the data side. The big gap you see there is to add an image. What we do here as part of the function and part of the feature list is try to make things cool, exciting, and accurate for the editor. So if I hit this remove background 3D button, I can now select a photograph. I can get this direct from Getty Images. That's one of the integrations we've got. We can talk to any API. So if it was something else you wanted to go into, then that's no problem. We've also got a locker. And this is something we find really valuable amongst teams because it's our online vault where you guys can share content amongst your team. So anything that goes in the locker is seen by every editor, every brand manager, everybody across the company. So if I just select one of the images, what you see here is that image will optimize itself, go into the graphic. What you can see there, if I just drag it across, is the player has already been cut out using an AI integration. So that's super accurate and super crisp. You won't need to Photoshop anymore. The little Stats Perform logo just in the bottom left is just an example to show you that when you see pretty much any of our client work, it's always got a sponsor logo on. And so there can be a drop down of as many sponsors as you can get. And the idea is not just to make this a nice to have, but make it an essential graphics tool with the data, and then also a commercial tool that's going to make money. Okay, when we go to another example, I can go to the touch map here from the World Cup in soccer last year. What I can do here, again, I can choose any data point from the graphic. So I can change anything from the match. I can select the game, and then I select the player. So if I switch this over to Lionel Messi, you can see his touch map there. And to decorate the graphic further, I'll just pull in an image. And the graphic's good to go there with the full touch map. Just switching sports, we'll move to cricket. And here you see a wagon wheel for a batter. And if I simply choose the competition, I can select this New Zealand example. I've then got the match, which came up automatically. I can select the innings. I can then just select the player. And there you see the data updates live. I can decorate this with a photograph and style it really well just on the graphic there. So you can see you've got this 3D effect where the player really pops from the graphic and finishes the piece.
And finally, this example here of the LFP shows our graphics being generated live, sent to our own API, and then available for a host broadcaster to put them on a live feed. You can see here, there are graphics appearing. A very relatively low cost, but very, very simple method of getting world-class quality graphics to your broadcast.
I mean, what was I saying before, Buzz? I mean, this stuff is really powerful. I mean, seeing the stats flow through in the different templates across the different sports, from football to cricket to soccer. I mean, really cool to see the Lionel Messi heat map. I mean, that stuff is great. I can't thank you enough, Anthony, for coming on the demo series and showcasing the Pressbox Graphics platform to our audience.
Anytime, Mike. Thanks a lot.
If you want to find out more information about Pressbox Graphics or other products and services you've seen here on the demo series, head to statsperform.com today, and you can find out more information and get set up with a demo today. For Anthony Borsamato, I am Mike Leon. Thank you for watching the demo series. We'll see everybody next time.